Hello, hello, hello. We are going to be getting started in a couple of minutes. We're actually going to give people a few more minutes after one to go ahead and hop in. Also, guys, if you have any questions, feel free to raise your hand or put it in the chat. We'll be happy to allow you to speak at that moment. But we're going to try and not keep you too long today. We're going to kind of get through and cover as much as we can about
AI. Try to
AI.
get you to go into this meeting. It's called leveraging AI for business or something.
Okay, we had to mute that one for a moment. And as I'm speaking, can actually, real quick, can I get like a one in the chat if people can hear me okay? Awesome. Fantastic. Fantastic. And are you seeing my screen? Or you should be seeing the L7 Solutions Managed IT Cloud Services Cybersecurity Leveraging AI for Small Businesses. All right, fantastic. Okay, guys, we're going to give it a couple of more minutes because we have people kind of pouring in here a bit. So again, we're just going to give it a couple more minutes and we'll go ahead and get started. Okay, let's go ahead and get going. As people remember the event, they will continue to hop in. But I first want to say welcome, welcome, welcome everyone to today's webinar on how small businesses can leverage AI to improve their operations, enhance their security, and maximize their ROI. So each week I'm out calling on prospective customers, and more times than not, most of them are asking me how they can take advantage of the latest AI technologies to actually drive more business, to do more in their day-to-day operations. In today's session, we're going to cover, or we're going to start exploring some practical ways you can implement the AI solutions to streamline your workflow, protect your data, and ultimately boost your bottom line. But first, we want to make sure that we're all on the same page, because I believe AI has kind of become kind of like cloud computing. We don't always kind of know what it is. So let's start with the definition of AI. AI refers to the simulation of human intelligence in machines programmed to think and learn. Okay, so it includes various technologies, including machine learning, natural language, computer vision. To put it simply, most of us have been using AI for years. If you've used Google Assistant, Siri, Alexa, a host of others, you've probably gotten lost in Miami doing so, and that was AI. Thank you, AI. The point is simply that it's not new, it's just getting better. So let's dive in, take a look at some of the key areas where AI can make a difference for small businesses. Okay, so today we're going to cover 4 key topics related to AI for your business. First, we're going to discuss and look at practical AI applications that law firms, CPAs, and medical practices are using today. Just FYI, Microsoft has developed a lot of software in this area, and we're going to touch on a little bit of that as well. Next, we'll discuss essential cybersecurity considerations when implementing AI technologies. Then we'll dive into measuring the ROI of your AI investments. Lastly, I'm going to open the floor for questions, and we'll hopefully be able to help guide you in the right direction on how you should start implementing AI in your business. And let me not forget, we will have an actual demonstration of prompting using Microsoft 365 CoPilot in an actual 365 environment. I've attended a number of webinars of my own concerning AI, and they never really show us how it can actually be used. But today, you guys are going to get a chance to see how AI is actually used in a working environment. So if we're ready, let's jump in right to the first topic, practical AI applications. Okay, so the slide that you see on the screen right now is I'm just taking a quick look at our questions here real quick. Okay, good, we're good. The slide that you see on the screen right now is a list of industries and professions where AI technology is being used today. I'm sure most of you probably recognize the verticals because a lot of you are probably in those verticals. For each industry, if you look to the right, it provides examples of the most common ways AI is being applied in that industry, such as diagnosis assistance for healthcare, fraud detection for finance, document review for legal, and so on. The goal is to highlight the wide-ranging impact of AI across various sectors of the economy and how it is truly transforming the way these industries operate. So, as big as the possibilities are with AI, I want to stress this, and I have to give this warning: start small. Start small and build. That's why you connect with companies like L7 Solutions as your AI consultant, and let us do the work of helping you find the right AI solution that fits your technical infrastructure. Okay, so let's start with law firms. AI is definitely transforming the legal industry in several key ways. Document automation tools use AI to streamline the creation of contracts, briefs, and other legal documents as with Microsoft's Copilot agent, Law Toolbox. So if you guys go into the Microsoft store, you will find in the Copilot agents that are listed, you will find Law Toolbox in there as an option. AI-powered legal research platforms can quickly analyze vast databases of case law, statutes, and bring to surface the most relevant information in those. One of the best in this area is Thomson Reuters Westlaw database. So any attorney that's out there, you guys know about Westlaw. So if you are familiar with Ross Intelligence was really kind of the leader back in, I believe it was 2019 or so. But they were basically kind of taking the information from Westlaw, which I guess was at that time owned by Thomson Reuters or some connection to Thomson Reuters. But either way, Thomson Reuters now has that product back in their hands, and they are creating multiple fold Gen AI products with that. Chatbots and other AI-driven client management tools can handle common client inquiries and tasks like scheduling appointments, which basically frees up lawyers to focus on higher value work. And quickly, I've often asked how much time AI truly can save me, because I want to touch on that, and it really, really depends. When it comes down to how AI can save you time, it really boils down to the task that is at hand. Now, if you've got a 5-minute task and it saves you and it shortens that task to 1 minute, that may not sound like a lot, but over time, that becomes a big deal. And so if you increase that, and let's say now we've make that an 80-hour task, and let's say it's the same 1/5 of time that it takes to do the task. So from now going to or let's say it's 100 hours, okay? We go 1/5 of that, that's 20 hours that we're looking at, as opposed to the 100 hours that it took to do the task before. It ends up saving you a lot of time. It ends up saving you a lot of money. So our next slide, CPA firms. For CPA firms, AI tools can automate many time-consuming financial tasks like data entry and analysis. Machine learning algorithms can analyze financial transactions, identify potential fraud and anomalies, which again helps CPAs manage risk better. AI-powered tax compliance systems can take up to date or can stay up to date on the latest regulations and optimize deductions, ensuring CPA firms provide the most accurate and beneficial tax services to the clients. Now, these advantages actually for CPA firms to work more efficiently, they provide more comprehensive services and deliver greater value to the clients when they implement things like this. Now, a point I must get across, though, and I'm going to repeat this probably a few times in this, our law firms, CPA firms, and this goes for medical as well, must remain compliant when working with personal data of their clients. Microsoft 365 CoPilot allows you to utilize your already established Office 365 environment to not only query information, so all the information that you have in there, your Word documents, your PDFs, Excel documents, and so on, it allows you to do that, but it also allows you to analyze and compare it and create AI-generated results from your actual data, and only your data. That's the important part. That's the key part. It can use only your data depending on how it's set up. So ChatGPT, on the other hand, does not operate in that same manner. Now, I'm not saying that it cannot work in that private mode. It's simply that it's not developed to work in that manner out of the box, whereas Microsoft Office 365 Copilot is truly designed to work within your Office 365 environment. And I just want to get this out that some people are saying, oh, well, I've already got Copilot on my desktop. There are differences between the Copilot that comes on your Windows system and the actual paid version of Copilot. They want us to basically make sure that we refer to the actual Copilot as M365 Copilot, which is different than CoPilot that you actually have on your system. And we'll explore some of those differences as we go on. So now with medical fields, we've got AI-driven patient scheduling systems, which can optimize appointment bookings, which in turn reduces wait times and improves patient satisfaction. I know we all would like to go to the doctor and get out in under 3 hours. Predictive analytics tools can analyze patient data to provide better diagnosis and treatment planning, leading to improved medical outcomes. And AI chatbots, which we see on websites all the time, can conduct initial patient assessments and follow-ups, extending care beyond traditional office visits through telemedicine. So if you've done things on telemedicine, you've been using an AI bot, most likely. Microsoft, from a small business standpoint, seems to be trying to be a leader in producing AI-centric tools for the healthcare industry. Partnering with companies like Athena Health, Epic, and Meditech, they've actually recently pushed out Dragon Copilot, which is, they did that in March. And Dragon Copilot is basically a combination of Siri and Copilot, in which it can reference documents via voice. It can create certain documents via voice. And that's all implemented into the EMRs offered by those companies that I previously mentioned. Okay, now here's the big one. ChatGPT versus Microsoft 365 Copilot. The prompting differences. Okay, so ChatGPT and Microsoft 365 Copilot have distinctive prompting styles and capabilities, which reflect their different purposes and contexts. ChatGPT is designed for open-ended conversational interactions where users can ask questions and refine prompts based on the responses. In contrast, Copilot prompts are more task-oriented. So they integrate in that Office 365 environment, and they're focused on enhancing productivity within the Microsoft Office suite, such as generating summaries and creating charts. So Copilot's integration with Microsoft tools allows it to directly manipulate those documents and data, while ChatGPT operates as a standalone application. Now, understanding these differences is crucial for small businesses handling sensitive data, as Copilot offers built-in compliance features that may be important for industries dealing with confidential information. Now, sticking with the prompting a little bit, I'm asked too, is there truly a difference when it comes to the prompting? Now, Copilot prompting is very simple, but you have to remember that you are asking it to do a task, and you're asking it to do a task in an environment. And what you may want to do is think about it in 4 steps. Think about it as a goal, a context, a source, and an expectation. So, for instance, a goal would be something like, I want to write a proposal. I want an image. I want a list of ideas, something like that. Context, why do you need it? Who's involved? And then source, where should it look for that information? Now, it can look in your email. It can look in Teams messages. It can look in OneDrive. It can look in SharePoint. So it's going to look in your environment. That's where it wants to stay, and that's where it's going to be most productive, and that's in your environment. Now, it's not that it can't stretch out and reach out into the internet for a little bit of information, but there's a term in the AI world called hallucinating, okay, or hallucinations in AI. Copilot cuts down on those hallucinations because we're working in that productivity method, and we're working in our own environment. The more it reaches out into the internet, the more chance that it will hallucinate. Now, it's good. It's very, very good. But there's always a chance that if it's reaching out to the internet, it's going to hallucinate. There used to be a commercial on years ago that would actually say, "Oh yeah, so and so happened, and this did this, and how do you know? Oh, I saw it on the internet." Well, I mean, I think we all know that everything that we see on the internet is not fact. So we have to consider that as well when we're working with AI. Now, ChatGPT, on the other hand, and I'm going to actually have to credit Jeff Sue for this. Those of you who are using ChatGPT, and I know there are quite a few of you out there who are using ChatGPT, and I'm hoping maybe you allow us to come in and talk a little Office 365 Copilot in your office and maybe show you something there as well within your own data. But those of you using ChatGPT prompting, you may want to think about this as your prompting. When you're using ChatGPT prompting, think of it as 6 building blocks. You want to think of it as a personal, a context, a task, a format, an example, and a tone. Okay, so you don't need all of those, but you do want to. One that you absolutely need, and that's in Copilot or ChatGPT, is a task. So you start the task with an action. So what do you want to do? It's articulate the end goal. The context is ask yourself 3 questions. What's the user's background? What does success look like? And what environment are they in? So the next thing would be an example. And examples greatly increase the results. And if you look at it in that type of order, your task, your context, your examples, that will help greatly. But then you want to give it some sort of persona. So who do you want ChatGPT to be? You can do this if you're using Copilot as well, but using it in the web, but you want it to be someone with expertise. So if you're writing a book, you choose someone who's famous, because you can't say, "Oh, I want it to be Ken Tucker." Ken Tucker's not out there writing books. You want to choose some famous author and say, "I want you to write in the style of this person." And then you've got your format. So how do you want it output? Do you want it output into a PDF? Do you want it output into a Word document, etc.? And then you want your tone. Do you want it professional? Do you want it funny? Do you want it sarcastic? So those are things that we want to consider when we're prompting. On our next slide, prompting basics. So the key to effective AI prompting is following a clear structure. Begin with a specific directive like explain, summarize, compare. Okay, this is especially important with things like Copilot or M365 Copilot. Let me correct that. Provide relevant context to frame the request properly. Include precise details about what you need in the response. Specify your preferred output formats. As I mentioned before, do you want it with bullet points? Do you want paragraphs? Do you want tables? When possible, include the examples. The formula helps generate more accurate, relevant, and useful AI responses. So combining all of these elements, a complete prompt might look something like this. For ChatGPT, it might look like this or sound like this. Explain the benefits of exercise for mental health in bullet points. For instance, include aspects like stress reduction and mood enhancement. That particular prompt, I might say, you are a scientist who has explored exercise physiology for the last 10 years, and then follow it with that particular thing. In Copilot, a prompt might sound something like this. Create a 1-page report on the impact of remote work on employee productivity. Include an introduction, 3 main points with supporting data, and a conclusion. Use headings and bullet points for clarity. Refer to my OneDrive for document A, document B, document C, meaning those documents containing a lot of that information, and give me an output in a Word document or a PDF. And so that would be a prompt that you might use for Copilot. Now, annual value of AI. The global AI market is projected to reach a staggering $826.7 billion by 2030, growing at a rapid 28% compound annual growth rate. Tech giants are investing heavily in AI with $320 billion planned for this year alone. So organizations that have successfully integrated AI are seeing significant efficiency gains with 30 to 50% reductions in time spent on routine tasks. However, realizing the benefits of AI requires strong leadership commitment to drive its successful integration and transforming of workflows and decision-making processes. That's where companies like L7 Solutions come in. I know I'm advertising a lot, guys, but trust me, we can really help you with this. So from a standard operating procedure standpoint, we not only implement your cybersecurity and managed cloud services, but for our clients, okay, we are your advisors when it comes to choosing the right AI platform. And we're going to be completely honest with you. If it's ChatGPT, we're going to tell you it's ChatGPT. But if it's something like Copilot, we're going to let you know that it's Copilot as well. And let's see where we are on time. Okay, good. So cybersecurity. We still have to be concerned about the cybersecurity because cybersecurity is crucial for businesses today as the adoption of AI tools increases the risk of cyber threats. Protecting businesses' assets is key to safeguarding your most valuable information. So maintaining client trust is essential. So any attorney out there, any accountant out there, you guys know how important it is to keep the trust of those clients because you're dealing with social security numbers. You're dealing with a lot of private personal information. It's a must that that data remains secure. Business continuity is important, which is preventing costly disruptions, keeping operations running smoothly. And with the growing reliance on AI, proper security measures are going to be vital for successful implementation. And so protection strategies, data encryption, encrypt sensitive data at rest and in transit. Okay. Now, ChatGPT and Copilot both encrypt data at rest and in transit. Employee training, educate the staff on recognizing cyber threats. Now, we do, for instance, cybersecurity risk assessments. Those are assessments that we actually find out, if like a lot of companies don't believe that, oh, no one in our company is actually using AI. And when we do a cybersecurity risk assessment, they actually find out quite a few people are using AI. And if they're not using it in the proper manner, they could be letting information out. So that's another reason that you get with someone like a managed service provider like L7 Solutions to help you keep that under control. So you want access controls, meaning implement role-based access to information. Now, that's the key difference between ChatGPT and Microsoft 365 Copilot. So Microsoft 365 Copilot allows you to implement those role-based access to information. So if you have data in your SharePoint or OneDrive or whatever it may be, and let's say it's an HR folder, you don't want everybody having access. Hey, Copilot, let me see what the so-and-so is making. Well, without any role-based access security, it's open to everyone. ChatGPT doesn't really care about that because it's not really accessing that information. Microsoft 365 Copilot, on the other hand, is concerned about that. So in regular audits, that's something that you want to conduct periodic security assessments. That way you know where AI is helping you, where AI is hurting you, and you know how to improve it. Okay, just a few more slides here, guys. I told you we talk about measuring your ROI on AI. So defining clear KPIs is crucial to measuring the success of your AI initiative. So these KPIs should be closely aligned with your overall business objectives. And that's different from one business to another. So that's something that you have to determine. Now, this allows you to track the tangible benefits and financial value that your AI implementation is delivering. Conducting a thorough cost-benefit analysis is the next step. Compare the cost of implementing and maintaining the AI system against the quantifiable benefits it provides. So this will help you determine the true ROI and justify the investments in artificial intelligence. Continuously monitoring the KPIs over time, this is going to allow you to track your performance, identify areas for improvement, and optimize the ROI of all of your AI initiatives. So here at the bottom of the slide, you can kind of see ROI equals financial value of AI benefits minus the cost of AI implementation divided by the cost of AI implementation times 100. And over to balancing the innovation with security. So we want to identify our AI needs. We want to assess security requirements, implement both simultaneously. This is also key. We can't just start doing one without the other. We need to focus on actually doing both together because we need to know how AI is going to integrate with our business or if it's going to operate independently of our business. And are we going to allow that to operate independently of our business within our organization? So that's where that continuous monitoring comes on. And that way we can review both our AI performance and security effectiveness. Now, the AI cost, and this is one that everybody also wants to know. Initial costs for AI implementation can vary widely, okay, from affordable options for small businesses starting at around $50 a month, actually even less in certain cases, to more custom enterprise level solutions costing $50,000 or more. So small businesses have access to business AI tools and chatbots that can be implemented for relatively low monthly fees. Mid-sized companies may invest in AI analytic dashboards and other integrated solutions, which can require more significant upfront costs. And when you get to an enterprise level, AI systems with multiple integrations and advanced capabilities can reach really high implementation budgets. So the right AI solution depends on the organization's size, its needs, and available resources. And trust me, there are options to fit every budgetary category. Now, the risk, this is the last slide before we go into the actual prompting that we're going to do. The risk of using AI. So there's data privacy concerns. There's job displacement. Now that one has been a big talk lately that, oh, AI is going to take our jobs. AI is going to take our jobs. That's a yes and a no with me. AI is taking jobs, but if you look at it, and let's say you have someone who's making $50,000 a year, and their job is quote unquote taken by AI. The reality of that is if that person is willing to train and they can train within your company and learn to do AI prompting, well, in my opinion, you just saved $50,000 because right now you're still paying them $50,000 and the average AI prompt engineer is what they're classified as. The average pay for an AI prompt engineer is $100,000 a year. And so you've kept that person in your organization. You've now added a skill for them that they can now help you grow your AI portion of your business and implement stronger and probably more secure AI. Now, again, the other risk are cybersecurity threats. And again, I'm going to say this. This is why we get with managed service providers because we're the people who can actually make sure that you're using the AI properly. It's really, really hard without the tools that managed service providers provide to monitor everyone and know how they're using AI. And that's something that everyone should be on the lookout for if they're going to start implementing AI in their business. So what we're going to do is I am going to go over to, if you give me just 1 second, I am going to stop sharing here and I'm going to, okay, here we are. So with our CoPilot, we are going to demonstrate how we can utilize CoPilot in our everyday business place. So if you take a look here up at the top, you've got a web and you've got a work. Now this is the paid version of CoPilot. It is the M365 CoPilot. And if you take a look, we've got work, we've got web. So web is saying, hey, CoPilot, go out to the web, do whatever you want, find whatever the information is that I'm asking you to look for. Work, I'm not going to say that it doesn't reach for the internet, but it reaches for the internet in a different kind of way. For instance, I can look up certain information and it's going to do it maybe through the fact that our computer is connected to the web and it may pull like a Wikipedia. Like you can do a search in your Windows search and it'll pull Wikipedia information. Same thing with Copilot in that sense. But what it does, our M365 Copilot, but what it does focus on and pretty much wraps its arms around is your environment, your private environment, just your Office 365 environment. So what we're going to do is we're going to switch to a work environment. And I'm going to put in a prompt that it definitely would not find this if I were going out on the web. So I'm going to say find my webinar spreadsheet AI in my OneDrive. Let's see what we get. This will probably be the time that Copilot or Microsoft says, hey, I can't do it for you today. Okay, here we go. So webinar spreadsheet AI. It found it. So not only did it find it, it says here are some details about it. It tells it what the file structure, what the extension is, who the author is. The spreadsheet includes information such as date, product, region, salesperson, unit sold, unit price, total sales, etc. So now what I'll do is I'll just click this. I'll open it up. Now I'm going to have to share again because it is opening that on the web, our Office 365 on the web. So it's opening it there. So give me 1 second and okay. And there we are. So now we have this document that I requested that it open up. And so now what we're going to do is I'm going to hit Copilot over here in the top right, because in every document, whether it's Excel, Word, I'm using, in this particular case, I'm using Microsoft Edge. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open up Copilot, and I'm going to ask it to, let me just do this, because I actually prepared a prompt here. Let's have it do this. We're going to calculate the average unit price of all products in the table, providing insight into overall pricing trends. Let's see if it does it. Okay. So it gives an average unit price of all products in the table is 11.69 CAD. Now, it seems to be doing this in Canadian dollars, which is interesting. Yeah, again, surprises from CoPilot, but we'll take it. I will now try that and see if we can do that in US dollars. Okay, it made the conversion and it did it in US dollars. Okay, and so now let's try this. We're going to ask it to create a bar chart to compare cells across different regions. And so we have our regions here, north, south, east, west. And let's see if it can produce that for us. Okay, so it's produced that bar chart for us. And I don't know how you guys are seeing it on the screen. I don't want to try and pull this down because it might expand a little bit too far for your screens because I'm using a wide screen on this end. But let's see here. Let me just see if I can get that a little larger for you. Okay, so there's the bar chart that is created. And it should allow us actually to add this, to add an extra sheet to the document as well. Let's see here. Okay. And so let's see if we can, let's try this one. This one's a little bit more direct. I'm not quite sure why it's not giving us our option to add it to the sheet. It usually will give us an option to add the actual item to the working sheet. Let's see here. Yeah. But then again, it also gave us Canadian dollars at first, which was not normal. And this same thing actually I experienced in a webinar I attended, and the gentleman from Microsoft said it always seems like later in the day, especially on a Friday, Copilot gets a little tired, and it's like I'm calling it for the week. So let's see this one because this is a little bit more direct for the. Yeah, we're not getting that option, of course, when we're doing the demo. Never mind. Here we go. I'm using the wrong Copilot, guys. I'm using the Copilot chat. Isn't that something? No wonder it wasn't working. So here we go. Let's give this a shot. We all, and see, this is the thing with new products like this. We all can get lost sometimes in the mix. So you can see it starts highlighting the actual chart here. And it gives us our option to insert that row. And so there it's done the calculations. Now that gives us the correct calculations. And then if we want to create that bar chart that I have there, let's take it here and there. Let's create the bar chart. And you'll see here where it gives us that option is doing the calculations, and it allows you to add the bar chart to another sheet, which there it gives us our chart. Now, these are things that, I'm sure some of the accountants out there, they could just do this snap, snap, snap. But this also, for those of us who are not accountants and working in Excel every day, it does make it a little bit faster, even when you make the mistake like I made initially and choose the wrong CoPilot icon. But it does make it a little bit quicker. Now, if we can generate a table to analyze sales by product category, pivot table. Okay, so in the pivot table fill list. Okay, so I needed to go back to our original sheet. That's why it needs that data. So you also have to make sure that you're on the actual sheet that has the data when you're asking for that information. There, it analyzes that group of data, and then it gives us our pivot table. And we can add that to a separate sheet as well. And there we've got our pivot table for that. Now, there are all sorts of things that you can do with this, guys. You can write if statements to categorize cells, setting them to high, medium, low, if you wanted to do something like that. Just an assortment of items that you could do with that. Now, real quick, I don't want to leave because I want to end this shortly so we can take a few questions. I want to show you what it does as far as doctors in healthcare, as far as attorneys. A very, very good way of using it there. So give me 1 second. I'm going to stop sharing again as we. Okay, and so our next one, I'm just going to ask it to find the partnership agreement. So I have a partnership agreement. This is all, guys, just so you know, this is my OneDrive. So this is in the environment. It's in our environment. So this is not something that you would be able to pull up if you were out on the web. So I'm just having it look for a particular document. I wasn't sure of the name. I knew it was a partnership agreement. There, we found it. It talks about things like voluntary withdrawal. Now, you can see that this is actually a PDF document. So I'm going to open this up as well. And I'm going to stop sharing again. Okay. So there we have this document up, and we're going to use CoPilot again in this situation. And we are going to say, summarize the key terms. We're speaking lawyer talk a little bit here. Summarize the key terms and conditions of this partnership agreement. Now, I don't know if you can see here, our partnership is between Dustin Oates and John Hall. Dustin Oates lives in Plantation, Florida, and John Hall lives in North Fort Lauderdale, Florida. So we're going to put in our term there, our prompt is looking at the partnership agreement. And what it does is it gives us all of this information here. Now, attorneys know they can sit there and they can read through this all day through an agreement. Now, mind you, this is a very short agreement, 13 pages, but it breaks it down, formation and purpose. It tells you who it's between, Dustin Oates and John Hall. Capital contributions. It gives you what Dustin contributed in cash and what John contributed in cash, along with their time and effort in writing, producing music, and instrument repair. So gives you things like profit and loss distribution. It gives you a nice summary of things. And then in CoPilot even suggests other things that it can look for you within the document. You can put things like this. Let's say it's a larger document and you're looking for something specific. And you say, what page can I find capital contributions on? So it tells me that capital contributions are found on page 2. So if I go to page 2, here we have initial capital contributions. And so there are just a number of things that can be done with this, guys. One more little prompt here. Just examining information. Now, as an attorney, you know things that you would be looking for. As a doctor, you know things that you would be looking for in documents. Examine the liability clauses and summarize the responsibilities of each partner. So here it says, sure, here's a summary of the liability clauses and the responsibilities of each partner. And so it gives you indemnification. It gives you the liability insurance. All of this information is contained within this document, and that document's a PDF. So in this particular case, it's actually using a PDF, not necessarily, it doesn't have to be a Word document, doesn't have to be an Excel document. It can use a PDF to reference information. So, okay, now what we have is, let's finish this next slide. So here are our key takeaways today. So we want to start small. We want to begin with one AI application that addresses a specific business need and build from there. We want to prioritize security, implement cybersecurity measures alongside AI adoption. Protection is essential. It's important to track the ROI and outcomes so that you're ready to adjust your approach based on results. AI is not perfect. We are not perfect, but we must remember that and adjust as needed. In certain environments, AI is known and expected to hallucinate. So, as I said, as you open it up more to the internet, it's going to find things that may or may not be true. So at L7 Solutions, though, through the use of account reviews, webinars such as this, and newsletters, we try to keep you informed about the rapidly evolving AI landscape. AI changes every day, and the agents and platforms learn more and more. So just to finish off, guys, if you want to contact us, you want to send anyone to us to maybe talk about AI, to talk about managed cloud services, to talk about cybersecurity. Everybody needs cybersecurity. You can give us a call. Phone number 954-573-1300. Visit our website at l7solutions.com. You can find us on LinkedIn, Facebook, at l7solutions.com. You can even find us on YouTube at l7solutions.com. We're building that channel up. We actually have a really great interview with coming up that we should have with one of the top hackers in the world, most likely. And he will kind of maybe scare you a little bit, but tell you how they have done these things for years and how to stop them. And like I said, if you have any questions or you want to talk about it a little bit more, feel free to give us a call. We're always here. We're always willing to help. Even if you just want to hash out, what direction you should go in. Like I said, we're not going to tell you to use to use CoPilot if it's not the thing for your environment. We're going to be completely honest with you and let you know maybe you need a developer to take it to a different level. And we are not developers. We are consultants. We're not developers, but we are happy to help lead you in the right direction and point you to the tool that is going to be best for your business, because your success is our success. And on that note, I'm going to say goodbye, guys. Have a wonderful, wonderful weekend, and we'll look forward to seeing you maybe at the next one. Bye now.
Thank you, Ken.
Sure. Have a great one.